back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So it looks like Megan Thee Stallion continues to remain on Cardi B's head top. Cardi B, you gotta wake up and shake the table. Megan Thee Stallion announced her new single called Whenever, coming out this Friday. This will be the first single from Act 3. You know, she already put out Act 1 and Act 2, I believe, last year. Okay? Now, unfortunately, the bots and bitter fans are not happy with Cardi B. They said to Cardi, she really came and took Cardi's spot. When Cardi thought she had a homegirl, Megan was plotting. She basically stole all of her antics and videos and turned it into her own. Fans also made a list of songs that Cardi B dropped with no album rollout after. They said after WAP, nothing after Up, nothing after Put It on the Floor, nothing after PM2, nothing. What is PM2? After Jealousy, nothing. After Wanna Be, nothing. After OTM, nothing. After ATL Fest, nothing. After The Revolve, nothing. 11 Faces, what the F is even going on at this point? So fans are calling Cardi B out. They feel as though Megan Thee Stallion is dropping more than Cardi B. They feel like Cardi B drops singles and then she don't do the album rollout, and basically Megan has taken her spot. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, Megan drops more, but I feel like she's not necessarily more successful than Cardi B. Like, she drops, but when she put out an album, it do 60,000 first week. I mean, is that really impressive? And then nobody's talking about this song. Like, nobody cares. I don't see nobody talking about Megan Thee Stallion song. That's why I said D0JA kind of has taken that token dark skin, brown skin girl lane, and you know, everybody thinks that, you know, D0JA is coming here to replace Doja Cat. I already spoke about Doja Cat's replacement yesterday, but I feel like D0JA is really coming for Megan Thee Stallion's spot, because Megan can spit even though she only talks about sex, but it feels as though, you know, D0JA has more critically acclaimed music, and she's been out less than Megan Thee Stallion. She won a Grammy for Best Rap Album. You know, Megan has 3 Grammys, and none of it's for Best Rap Album. Okay, she done released a lot of albums. So to me, it's coming off as D0JA really took Megan's spot, and Megan, even though she drops more than Cardi B, I don't feel like she's more successful than Cardi B, in my opinion. No shade. Now, moving on from that, I am hearing that Doja Cat, Big Doja, after completing a successful arena tour in 2023 and some shows in 2024, I'm hearing that Doja Cat wants to do a stadium world tour. Okay? A lot of people are going on tour right now. We got Kung Fu Kenny and Sizza, Queen B. The Weeknd is also going on tour with Playboy Cardi. There's a lot of people going on tour. Do you guys think Doja Cat can do a stadium? I don't think she can. Okay? I think she needs to stick to the arenas. Now, if she go with somebody else, she possibly can do a stadium depending on how big the other artist is, okay? But I feel like right now, Doja Cat's catalog, she's still building. I don't think she has the catalog to do a stadium world tour. She definitely has the performance skills to perform at a stadium, because if you guys remember, she did Coachella. She headlined Coachella and she killed that. So I definitely think she could do a stadium with another act, okay? But if it feels like, you know, Doja Cat, she's trying to become an icon, but I just feel like she needs to put out more iconic music. I feel like you need to work on building your catalog, okay? Also, I feel like Doja Cat, we still don't really know what type of person she is. All we know is that she definitely does not want to be black. That's what I do know. I don't know anything else. But We know she definitely don't want to be black, and she kind of uses black culture similar to Champagne Thickums, but she's not really wanting to be a part of the culture. Okay, so, that's something she's going to have to work on. Now, moving on from that, it has been reported that Queen Bee and Camel Face are planning to buy a house in the UK, according to Daily Mail. They said that they will always be based in LA, but the UK is on the agenda. Queen Bee loves the UK because they support everything she does. That's allegedly the reason why Queen Bee is moving to the UK. I don't believe that, though. Okay? I think she feels as though she gets a lot of hate from the US. You guys have been dragging her. The Diddy trial is coming up. It's coming up next month. Oh my goodness. The Diddy trial gonna be next month. Hopefully Queen Bee don't get exposed. But I think that's the main reason why she would move to the UK, to kind of lay low. There's not as many paparazzis. And Queen Bee never gets seen out by the paparazzi. So I know that's not really a main issue for her, because a lot of celebrities call the paparazzis on themselves. But the fact of the matter is, she gets a lot of hate here now than she did before. I've noticed that people are dragging her, especially on social media. The Diddy case is coming up. She might have to lay low for a few years, completely, depending on how this Diddy case goes. And I don't think Queen Bee would really go down, but Camel Face, he might. Okay, I think Camel Face definitely might go down in the future. Now, speaking of Beyonce, as we know, Carrie Hilson tried to use Beyonce for her album rollout. She basically talked about the diss track that she recited 10 plus years ago, trying to get sympathy. The album still flopped. Nobody's talking about it. Definitely don't need to do a review. But with that being said, I'm hearing that Queen Bee is going to contact Carrie Hilson's team, not to make amends, but to basically tell Carrie Hilson to stop talking about her interviews. I'm hearing Queen Bee is not happy that Carrie Hilson is talking about her in interviews, probably because in the Turning Me On remix, she told Queen Bee to sit down, have some children, while she was going through, marriage issues and also miscarriages. So for what I've been hearing, Carrie Hilson might get a cease and desist from Queen Bee. Okay? A cease and desist basically means keep your bap shut. Keep my name out of your mouth. Okay? Now, you may be wondering, why can't she talk about Queen Bee? Well, because you wrote a diss track. You don't want to take accountability for writing it. You want to blame Esther Dean and Polo the Don. Why are we talking about it if you're not going to take accountability? That's how Queen Bee is looking at it, from what I've been hearing. She's looking at it as Carrie Hilson not really taking accountability and kind of using Queen Bee for sympathy, because she knows people don't like Queen Bee, so people are going to support Keri out of spite, but the support is not good enough because her album is still flopping. So I am here for Queen Bee sending Carrie Hilson a cease and desist, only because I want to see what Keri can do without mentioning Queen Bee's name. Okay, can you put out a hit record without mentioning her name? Because you haven't done that. You haven't put out no hits. All you do is mention Queen Bee and Esther Dean and Polo the Don. So once she do that, I will support Keri. She put out a hit record. I'm going to 100% support Keri because I think she's talented. Until then, she really won't get much out of me. And there's really no shame. Now, what is Sexy Red doing with Chris Breezy, the colorist? Okay. Is she doing one of those pictures that he take with fans on tour? Like, what is this? There's a lot going on. Okay. Would you guys be here for a collaboration? Because I can see them working together. I think, Sexy Red is mixing and mingling with like Chris Brown and Justin Bieber, because she's gearing up to put an album out this year and she needs to get her collaborations ready. Okay, she already worked with Bruno Mars. That record flopped, so she got to go to Chris Brown and Justin Bieber to try to get a hit. That's what is coming off to me. It's really no shade to Sexy Red, but I don't feel like she's going to last long in the game. Now, moving on from that, Sizza basically almost trips and falls on stage looking a mess. while she was performing. I personally don't think it's smart for anybody to be carrying Sizza in her BBL, okay? Because Sizza look good, but we know it's heavy back there, okay? She got that big old donkey booty that is paid for, not hers. And, Sizza's thick. I don't think it's smart for anybody to be carrying Sizza. If you're going to get somebody to carry Sizza, it got to be somebody that's not scrawny. Okay, so if they try to lift her up and twirl her around, you're going to need a bigger dude. That's all I got to say about that. But that looked a mess, okay? But from what I saw, because I haven't seen her live yet, from what I saw, majority of her performance was really good, okay? And, the stage setup for Kung Fu Kenny and Sizza looks immaculate. It looks very good, well put together. And you can tell that there's a budget behind their tour. But I just feel like, Sizza, she's a little bit too thick for you to think that you can pick her up and twirl her around. That's just not what's going to happen. Now, Tyler claps back at the fans who said that basically she copied Queen Britney the Icon's aesthetic for her most recent Coachella performance. Okay, copied an outfit that Britney has worn in the past. Okay, now she said, love her, but I thought the outfit was fly. No inspo. Now, a fan said, I personally think she is a copycat and too full of herself. Yikes. Now, Tyler clapped back and said, personally, I think you should shut the F up, okay? And then the person responded and said, and your head is huge too. What? And the head is big. Wow. Now, here's the thing with Tyler. This is what we need. We need you to get a little bit spicy like Riri was, okay? Since you technically are Riri's replacement. We need you to get spicy. Rihanna used to send these bitches in a frenzy when she was online clapping back. As Tiana Taylor, as Cece, she wasn't playing no games. So this is what we need from Tyler. Tyler seems a little bit boring. So I'm happy that she's clapping back in addressing the copycat allegations, but I need her to address her copying Rihanna. Like her copying Britney, okay, but you technically always copy Rihanna. We need you to address you copying Rihanna relentlessly. Her whole aesthetic you basically stole. We need you to address that. Well, I'm sure you guys are not shocked, but Justin Bieber was acting like a crackhead at Coachella, high as a kite. Allegedly, his little brother was at Coachella and had to be removed because Justin wasn't a good babysitter. But he looking like a crackhead, out of it, high as a kite, drunk, all over the place. And here's my thing. It's Coachella. People are going to drink. People are going to smoke. That's just what it is. But I just feel like it's not a healthy environment for Justin because it seems like he don't have control over himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels as though he needs to be sober. Like, he should not drink, smoke, do nothing, pop pills, do nothing. He should remain sober for the rest of his life because it seems as though he can't control himself. And I think that eventually, no shade, his substance addiction will spill out and get exposed. Because I did hear that he does have a substance addiction. So I do feel like eventually that will get exposed. Now, Kendrick Lamar decided to perform a new Family Ties verse on his first day of his Stadium World Tour, okay, at US Bank in Minneapolis, and it has caused a frenzy. Okay, now in the Family Ties unreleased verse that also I believe has Baby Keem on it, his cousin, he said, "You N-words will never compare to me. Be scared of capital G-O-D? Nah, you better be scared of me. walking the walk and talking the talk, okay? Now, here's the thing, Kung Fu Kenny, I do think a lot of rap N-words are scared of you. But I don't think you should be comparing yourself to capital G-O-D, okay? Don't be like Kanye West. You definitely ain't no capital G-O-D, okay? You the GOAT, but you ain't God, okay? But I definitely feel like a lot of male rappers are scared of Kendrick Lamar, and that's why you see a lot of male rappers, especially after the beef, side with Champagne Thickums. I don't really think that a lot of them like Champagne Thickums. That's why when, Champagne Thickums and Kung Fu Kenny was going through it, you saw Rick Ross, The Weeknd, Metro Boomin, even Kanye West at one moment in time dissing Champagne Thickums when they thought he was over, okay? But we see like Lil Baby, Young Thug, 2 Chainz, a lot of rappers, especially from Atlanta, take Champagne Thickums' side, and it's because they're intimidated and scared by Kung Fu Kenny, because Kung Fu Kenny don't have to socialize with rappers or collaborate with them, okay? Champagne Thickums has to collaborate with rappers or he would be isolated because he's not necessarily from the culture. He's from Toronto. No shade. Not from the culture. But Kendrick Lamar, because he is a product from the culture, he's from Compton, NWA, hello, signed by Dre. He doesn't need to collaborate with any of these Atlanta niggas like Champagne Thickums do. So I do think a lot of rap niggas are scared of Kendrick Lamar because he doesn't really need them. Champagne Thickums does. Anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.